Degenerates, Pride and Prejudice ever
Yo, no,
again,
Pride, P&P though. Oh my God, Jane Austen is
The
still.
way-
You know, Jane Austen was 19 when she wrote that.
The way I can like dissect that book, that movie, the everything about that book. If you could, if I was
Have you read Emma?
No, I haven't, and I'm like very like.
Have you read
weary about
Persuasion?
it.
Emma or Persuasion. Read Persuasion, because that book is fucking
weary.
insane, but it's so good. Look, the way Jane writes female characters is the most incredible. I read P&P when I was in middle school or high school or something like that,
in love
and
with
I remember specifically.
Lizzie is my goal.
Yeah, I remember specifically being like, Lizzie fucking Bennett.
Yes.
How do you exist?
Yeah.
If this is true, you know what I mean? Because it was just so brilliant. And then when you look back at the history about P&P in Victorian era, like you know what women had to go through and politically and all this shit, and you realize that she wrote it during that time. Fucking Jane was so ahead of her time in terms of like feminist movement, in terms of like what it means to be like a really empowered woman and all this shit, man. Man, she fucking sold me,
man, dude.
And Keira Knightley in that movie kills it too.
Don't talk. Yes. So yes, that's the.
Although I think that Darcy was not as handsome as he should have been.
I don't know what the fuck you talk about, because that man.
You think he's handsome in that movie?
Handsome as hell. What are you talking about?
I think it's the mun chops. I think it's like
the fact that these motherfuckers did look like that. They ain't looking all handsome and shit like fucking, I don't know, these.
I was just expecting like a little something. I think he killed it. I think he killed the role. I think he was just like, because he was stoic in the book. She describes him as being like so stoic and so like secretive,
he's out
and
here
like
saying like, you know, I'm loving you, oppose my better judgment, and be like, well then bitch, don't love me. Like,
that boy said, oppose my better judgment. That boy that boy said, I love you and I can't help it, even though I don't want to. So
even though I know I shouldn't love you, and it's just like, bro.
Well, it's not even that he shouldn't. He should. He did pick the right one. She was exactly who he was looking for, because he was looking for somebody that went against the grain, did not give a fuck, was against like a lot of traditional. He was incredibly progressive, like rich man at that.
He was a man. That's what he was.
And
he was the man.
I think he was the first character that was like very obviously written by a woman. The first male character that was like very obviously written by a woman. It's like you were
written by a woman. You
know what I
mean? Whenever I see men that are like that, I'm like, the God actually wrote you, because the God is a woman.
You got written by women energy?
You got written by, oh yeah. There's so many guys that I'm like, Tom Holland is written by a woman.
Really?
Let me tell you why he's written by a woman. Because,
break it down.
Because he and Zendaya, he worships at that girl's feet, but in the most beautiful way. He's not out here like, damn, my girl fine, my girl this. No. He's all like, isn't she beautiful today? Like, so subtly, not even telling her to her face. Like, he's on an interview, or like, they're like, she's walking.
He's just smitten.
And he's all like,
not just, but like, he's smitten.
Yeah, he's all like, damn, she's like great, huh? Yeah, she looks really good. She looks beautiful.
He's just smitten over him.
Yeah, and then like,
kind of like when Will and Jada, when Will used to do that shit, but that didn't age well.
Nah,
that did not age well.
Not with these situationships and stuff.
Jada over here, happy Valentine's Day for real. Damn.
No, like he's
the internet
would
not the internet would not let Jada live that down, and I am sorry, but like,
well, you know what though, but I think
I am all for people having whatever relationship they want to have, because I think that you don't necessarily have to be traditional, but the way they made that shit so public, and the way they had my boy
out there,
the way
crying,
they had my boy
tears.
Crying, man, my
Poor baby
dude,
Will.
bro. Especially because like Will was that guy. Like Will was like super mega star. Like Will could have had anybody he wanted. Like and he looked like Will and Jada had this like perfect relationship, or they might still have a perfect relationship. It looks like their communication is key in their relationship. But the way they had my boy out there with fighting back the tears, and the way they memed him, man, that shit broke my heart. I felt for Will, because I was all like, man, see, this is why men don't be talking about shit like that.
Yesterday, specifically as Love Day, I saw a particular post about men and about the way that men are treated in society and in
Break it down.
And stuff. And they were talking about the fact that they're like, the reason why men don't want to talk about stuff publicly a lot of the times is, of course, because of the fact that they're shamed into believing that they shouldn't be talking about these things. Because whenever they do see something like, for instance, Will crying and feeling what a normal human would feel when their lover, the person that they love the most in their life,
have an emotional connection with somebody,
talking about something as serious and sentimental and, you know, heartbreaking as that, they make a meme out of him. You know what I mean? So men are like, well, if this motherfucker gets memed, the fuck am I supposed to do? Just get like chill out and let you know.
Well, it's also looked at as weakness. But then I feel for Will though. I'm like, man, I look at that. I've watched the interview and I was looking at his face and his like eyes, and I'm like, man, bro, I know what you're thinking. Like I know what's going in there. I know what's going running around, and he's just fighting back, and he's just like, and because you know he's like, what I actually do want to say, I don't want to say on camera. Like that's a conversation you and I are gonna have like alone whenever like for me to tell you how you actually hurt me. But for to clear our name, to clear our family like image for optically, I'm just gonna sit this one out. And that, my friends, is
true power.
Man, that is
an emotionally mature man. And let me tell you though,
an emotionally intelligent
man as well, because there is a way to unintelligently use your